All right, so we just wrapped up round one of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series, and it was an absolutely epic day of racing. Perfect weather, hero dirt, and the best athletes in the world. So thank you to all the media partners for coming out. While we kick this off, I'm just going to hand it over to the Pro Downhill Series Director, Clay Harper, for some stats and general information on the day and the season.
Yes, sir. All right, yeah, this was the opening round, Rock Creek. Back here for the second year. Few changes to the track, like Lars said, huge day for the weather. Everything turned out perfect. Read a few stats from the weekend. I think this stuff is important. Everybody kind of wants to know this, and it doesn't always get publicized. So total athletes on the day, on the weekend, AMs go tomorrow, 396, so about 400 athletes in total, including a 69 deep men's class and 23 deep pro women's class. The total payout today was $17,500, which included the $1,000 worth of hole shot money, which is actually really interesting today. So the hole shot award was designed to give people outside of the pro class a chance to jump in, you know. And so today we actually had, in the men's side, we had Luke Mallon beat Asa. So Asa was the winner. Luke Mallon, Asa was the race winner. Luke Mallon came in and beat him by .057 in the first split to take the SR Suntour hole shot and the money. On the women's side, we had Ali Ostegard, who was also the race winner, beating Kaylee by .136. So these numbers are really close, and it's a cool race within the race. Overall, great weekend, good stuff, and a good kickoff to the season. So let's not waste any more time and get some questions for these ladies.
All right. Sounds good. So any questions from our media partners?
Hey, it's Sean Spomer from Vital MTB. Treat to watch you shred the track today. It's my first Pro Downhill Series to come to and watch. How is it different today on track than yesterday? Because Anna and Aletha, you two flip-flopped. It seemed like it was drying out a little bit. What was the strategy today versus how you're riding yesterday?
Go first? Oh, okay. I would say it was a lot drier. It was a lot faster. Like the course was running super, super fast. Yesterday, I feel like it was still running pretty slow from the muddy first couple days. But I guess I didn't really change much strategy, just kind of coming in and telling myself to like ride well and not get sketchy. I've had a tendency of having some sketchy runs lately. So to have a clean run and not have like a scary moment too big is really good for me. Yeah, the track was a lot drier today. It was definitely running quicker and a lot looser and slicker, which for me, I kind of like struggled with. Like I still had a lot of fun on track. It's a really great course. And honestly, I really like how it shaped up from being so muddy and like soft and fresh to being like dry and fast and rough and loose. My strategy didn't really change too much. I definitely like overcooked it out of the start, but all in all, like I'm happy I was able to like kind of recover from that and have a good run from then on.
Kaylee, do you feel like there was any section on the track that was more critical than others?
I think a lot of the middle of the track was super crucial. It was very technical, and like the girls said, it dried out really well. I think the rain in the beginning of the week allowed the track to shape up really nicely. With the wet dirt, it just made the holes bigger, and the softer dirt, it just made everything bed in just deeper. So as it dried out, it got more intense and faster, and the holes were bigger. And yeah, throughout the middle of the section, I think that was super crucial, and also the jumps at the end of the track. Just strategy was to stay smooth and analyze the track as it continued to change, and just find your lines as the track changed and kept going. It was alive out there, so it was cool to be on a track that changed so much in a race weekend.
I just want to add, I'm so happy that she got a redemption from last year.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw me on that jump last year. That thing was a booter. And at race speeds, not sure if we should have a booter that big.
She was going to smoke us all. And
yeah,
I was like,
sick one going. And then, about 5 feet before the finish line, we exploded. OTB went 20 feet past the landing. I don't know how far. Anyways, but yeah, I wasn't allowed to run my bike across, so I'm stoked that this weekend was safe and sound, and we're going home in one piece.
Nice work. Congrats all.
Thank you.
I had one tag-on question to that because I was actually wanted to ask you this. Did that demon kind of poke its head out right before you hit the jump in your final run?
It does for sure. A little PTSD, I think so. That crash was pretty significant and put me out for a really long time. And at that point, I just wanted to finish the race strong. I already had some mistakes up top in my race run, so I had the speed to clear it, but I hit my brakes a little bit for sure and just wanted to power through. So yeah, they were there. We got history with this track, so just wanted to clear up the history and be positive for the week.
I think I was just as scared, and I didn't crash on it.
Yeah,
it's just
better now.
it's a jump that like boots you forward.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah.
the hole is gone now too, and
Yes.
it's still like that.
Yep.
This one's for Anna and Aletha. Like yesterday, you don't often see a race run come down to not a tenth or a thousandth, but like, or 10th, 100th, a thousandth of a second difference between the two of you guys. Did either of you, maybe a question for both of you, did you go all in yesterday, or were you kind of playing a little bit of game of cards, kind of leaving a little bit on the table for today?
I feel like it's just like a mental game for me. I like to give it like 90. I always say that as an example, like my 100. I don't think I've ever gone 100. 100 might be too much for me, but I give it like 90. I think I'm still pushing, I'm still pedaling. I just know that tomorrow I'll have a little bit more in the tank.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think yesterday I had really just smooth, clean run. Like, wasn't pushing too hard, wasn't like sliding anywhere, drifting anywhere. I think the objective, especially for a seeding run, is just to have like a good, solid, clean run.
Get in the groove of racing again.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hello, it's Carson from 9.5 here. I guess one question is, how does it feel to start the season off with a race? I mean, a couple of y'all did Tennessee National, but especially a race like this where, I mean, it's not as much pressure as World Cups, but, I mean, the field's getting pretty strong here, especially in the women's field. So I guess how does that feel to start up the season with the big U.S. race?
I'd say it feels great. I know that I'm not racing Anna, but we're going to be at the World Cups together, so that'll be sick. So it's definitely still stacked competition, but I think it's just I like coming to these races because they're in the U.S. and it's a good race to go to.
Feels good to be home too.
Yep.
Obviously, the East Coast not for me is home, but it's always good to be in America and feel safe here. Yeah, this is a pretty intense. This was my first race of the year coming off of off season, and this track is extremely intense for how simple it is. So right off the bat, right out of the gate, all the way to the bottom, 2 minutes of pure intensity the whole time. So yeah, that was a fun one to warm up with.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's good to like just kind of dust the cobwebs off, kind of get back into racing, get a feel for riding against the clock again, which I think for all of us has been a hot minute since we've done properly.
Yes.
Yep. And just kind of warm up for the World Cup season ahead.
Now that the race is over, thinking back about your run, is there anything else you would have done differently today?
I think if you don't look back in a race run and want to change something, you aren't racing. Like, I could name like 5 things that I'd change, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to change them because a race run's a race run. If you're not pushing, you're not going to be having those moments.
That's true. Yeah, I could think of a couple pretty significant mistakes that I made that I'm sure cost some time out there, but like Aletha said, you're pushing, and every time you're pushing, you're kind of ending up in different places and you're jumping lines and you're kind of unsure of where you're going to end up when you're pushing as hard as you possibly can. So you just got to stay ready and be strong and hope that you stay off the ground and finish strong. So yeah, it was good, and I'm glad that all of us finished great and we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with those statements. I mean, it's racing. Like, mistakes are going to happen, shit's going to happen, you're going to mess up. It's just part of it. Like, I think there's no changing it anyways. So, yeah, you can't. You just kind of accept what you did and do better next time.
Right?
Can't change the past.
For the three of you, maybe just pick any order, go one at a time. What's next for you guys, and will we see you at Mountain Creek at round 2?
I'll be at Sea Otter. We're going to go over there with my team, RA Factory, and go see all of our sponsors, race slalom for some fun. Always such a fun race. It's so chill and just cool to be over there in that part of California. It's really pretty and just a really fun time. We're going to race downhill too. It's a pretty physical downhill track. And then from there, yeah, we're going to be at Mountain Creek and doing all these series races. I'm going to race some enduro as well and mix it in, and hopefully maybe some World Cup rounds at the end of the year. So yeah, we'll see how it fills out and have some fun.
Awesome.
I might do a couple fun races at home, just to go back to my roots, I would call it. Northwest Cup, do maybe the first round there. I'm gonna see how my break in between that goes. See how the off season, like off break is. But my next big race is definitely World Cups. I've got a good break in between, which I'm kind of excited for, to relax, heal a little bit. But yeah, I think World Cup's my main next one. I won't be at Red Rock Creek, sadly.
Mountain Creek.
Mountain Creek. Sorry, Mountain Creek. I will not be at Mountain Creek.
2 creeks.
2 creeks, yep.
So many creeks. Yeah, so I'm not going to Sea Otter, luckily. Not my
I agree with that. I think the event is sick. I'm just a DH racer, and
Slalom's pretty fun.
Oh, I love
I've
slalom.
never done slalom, so.
Honestly, you
I
don't
love
know till you
slalom.
try.
I just died there in 2023. I had a huge, but yeah, I'm just going back home after this. I'm gonna just focus on riding and training and stuff until the first World Cup. Unfortunately, I will also not be at Mountain Creek. That's the right creek. And then, yeah, I'll definitely come back for nationals, and then probably for the U.S. Open too. So I'm looking forward to those as well.
Awesome job. Congratulations. Thank you for coming, and good luck with the rest of your 2025 season.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for hosting a great
Thanks
event.
for a great race and giving
Yep,
us the
thank you.
opportunity.
We heard from our GM of the Pro Downhill Series some stats before, so we're just happy to see all of you guys on the podium. You guys threw down absolutely ridiculous performances today, and we just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on the track and how this event went for you, and then we'll start off with some questions after that from the media.
Started off like not dusty, all like tacky, and it was fun. Got all loose for race runs. Yeah, it was fun. These Pro Monster Series are always super sick.
Yeah, I thought the event was super good, like always super well run. The practice schedule was on point with the late practices. Love being able to sleep in. And it was good, like with the rain coming in earlier in the week and then the track kind of drying out. So like it got super rough, like a lot rougher than it normally does. So it like shaped up a lot better, and it made a good race.
Yeah, for sure. I had a blast all weekend. Track was probably my favorite Rock Creek track we've had. The prep and the soft mulch and the holes, it turned into like a moto track. So yeah, great weekend all around. Super happy with how it went. And yeah, can't wait to be back.
Hey, this is Sean Spomer from Vital MTB. Asa, what's up with the glasses?
Oh, dude,
Are they
I got
special?
these.
They're tough.
They're sick. I mean, I got them in New Zealand. I paid $150 for them, so I might as well wear them.
Well, they look good on the top of the podium.
Thank you.
How was it for you guys today versus yesterday? It seemed like it got a little bit looser out there. Your times weren't terribly different from yesterday. How was, the kind of mental prep for the track today versus yesterday?
Yeah, it was good. I thought honestly the times would be faster, like with how the track was running. Like when I came across the line, I was pretty surprised to see like they really weren't much different than yesterday. Like only like a couple tenths faster for like a second, because the track like felt like it was rolling so much better. But some of the ruts were a little more blown, so that probably took away some time. But and also like big wind gusts started coming at the top like for the last probably 20 men, so kind of I think dried it up a little bit more even from that. But the track shaped up super nicely.
Yeah, I was surprised that the times were just like pretty much the same. Come across the line and looking back, but yeah, just like Peaky said, it got all like loose and just harder to ride for us, like the last couple dudes. So I just had a more sloppy run than I did in qualifying, I guess. And yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it was easier to make mistakes today, lot less traction and rolling faster. But again, like with the wind, it didn't really roll as fast as I was expecting it to. So yeah, I felt like it was a much trickier track to race today. Yesterday, I felt like you could be a little bit more aggressive. You just had so much traction everywhere, and the ruts were holding a little bit together better yesterday. So yeah, it was definitely, I felt like kind of two different styles of race between seeding and finals. So
With the wind up there and the times were so tight between you guys, do you feel like the wind could have impacted, a couple tenths here or there?
oh,
for your
for
runs?
sure. I mean, when I dropped, it was like gale force, and these guys, it calmed down for them. So that
Yeah, for
was
sure.
the
It's
difference right there.
for sure.
That was
For
it.
sure.
Asa had a tailwind the whole way down?
Yeah.
Yeah, tailwind. That's, I guess Nico, he can like
You could change
channel the
some of it.
winds here. He's
Yeah.
got like tarps up, everything, all sorts. So yeah, that was the difference for me. Headwind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It was. This guy.
All right, there was rumor yesterday, Asa, I was standing in the section, the kind of uphill, and then it goes into the real steep, kind of double left turn. There was rumor that you're thinking about jumping it. Luca, you said you were thinking about jumping it. Did you guys jump it?
I did. No one caught it on camera.
Yeah, we all just know he was standing there.
You guys didn't do it?
Dude,
what are we doing?
I jumped over the rock. I don't know what you're talking about. I went full inside jump.
I used the net as a wall ride.
That means you should be disqualified. It's on track. No, actually, I have been thinking about pulling that for a while. And I kind of had it in my head if one of these boys, if someone did it, I was like, then I'm going to have to do it. But I didn't hear that anyone did it, so I'll keep it in the pocket for later. But yeah, it's definitely doable. I think just the turn after might not be easy. So, but yeah, it's going to happen eventually.
It'll definitely happen.
I think there just needs to be a big berm at the bottom.
Nah.
And everyone will do it.
No, yeah, we got to make it. I think we could do it.
Yeah, I just don't know if it'd be faster with the rut. Because you land and you just slam on the brakes.
That's why I didn't want to do it. This just seemed so sketch for not much benefit.
But it looks sick.
It would look
like
so
Deegan.
sick.
He'd be
Dude, yeah,
Deegan out there.
Into the rut. Maybe land on your seat, foot out. Yeah. That'd actually be pretty sick.
Next year.
Next year. Let's see it. All right.
I got a question. What's up, boys? Mangler from the Gravity Co-op. Stoked you're all out here. All of you guys have had some good history here. I mean, Luca, you got the stripes here. Asa, you've won now, 5 out of 4 races here? Downhill Southeast?
The first one I crashed, and then the rest of them I think I won, yeah.
Yeah. And Pinky, you've had some pretty good results here,
Yeah.
but never a win. So
I got in 1 national championship.
Yep.
Got that one.
Yep, that's right, you did. So talk to us about how you've seen the course develop here and how you feel like your racing has improved on this course.
I always feel like this track's one of the hardest ones to race because in kind of a perspective to World Cup tracks, it's kind of easy. It's just doesn't separate much, and I always tend to override here. Every year I'm always I got to push so much harder, and then if I just relax, I probably would go faster because I'm just overriding the track. But this year, I think the bumps made it slow down a little more in some sections, but also made it a lot harder to ride. So it was a good balance, I think. And it was I think just like Lucas said earlier, this is definitely the best track so far.
Yeah, I've always loved this track. I mean, big berms, sick jumps. I think it's one of the funnest tracks to ride. Every lap, I mean, first day of practice I did 10 laps just because it's so fun. But I think that's what I do in my race runs too. I was just stoked to get back on it to do another lap. But it's definitely hard to race because you can just override it very easily. It's just you have to know the speed limit.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely not the easiest track to race. I ride here all the time because it's only half an hour from my house. So
Cheater.
It kind of makes it almost hard. I feel I'm used to just cruising practice laps, and then when it comes to race, I almost have to ride a different style. So, but no, it's a good racetrack. It's always fun, preseason, early season. It definitely, you got to have the speed right out of the gate and just have that raw speed, because it's not the most technical or roughest or longest track. So times are always close and everyone's always pushing super hard. So it's a good warm up race for the season.
Jack Clark, intern at 9-5 Media. Luca, can you fill us in what happened in Nashville? We heard there was reports of getting arrested, but yeah, it's great to see you at this race.
I've heard stories like this too, that he had a blowout. I can't confirm though. Maybe he can.
I don't remember, so.
And Asa, do you feel like there'll be an after party after this race?
At Lucas' house.
No comment.
switching gears a tiny bit, just because I wanted to just hear your thoughts on this. You guys were all within like literally hundredths of a second from one another. So a lot of times you always go home and kind of review your race run over and over on replay to try to think of what you could have done different. Is there anything in particular that happened today that is going to kind of annoy you or haunt you or just help you grow going into your next race?
There's nothing that's like gonna like really like sit with me, because I feel like on these last two races are like showing that like my off season's been pretty good and like everything's like where I want it to be. I was pretty upset at myself because like right out of the gate I made a pretty big mistake that like I don't even know how I did it. Just like I must have just been sleeping out of the gate or something. But so I finally felt like I had to make up time all the way down, which is super hard in this track. But other than that, like the boys are all super tight, and the racing here is like always just neck and neck. So I was like super happy to put down a solid run.
Awesome. Asa?
I mean, I'm happy. It ended off good for me. I couldn't have gone any better, but in the race run, I had a couple sketchy moments over stall wall, like just went to flat, and a couple little things I could fix, and I'm glad that it did happen because I'll learn, and that's just like a learning experience for the next race. But yeah,
you kept it exciting for us because at first you were up and then you were down and then you came back at the end. Was there anything in particular in the middle of the course that tripped you up?
Must have been the wind.
Wall?
It was the wind all the way out. No, there was a stall wall I went to flat on and burnt my tire, and I didn't get any pedal strokes after. And just from there on, I just got to pin it. So yeah, I knew I lost time there, and when I saw the clock, I was not surprised.
Awesome. And Luca?
Yeah, I'm super happy with my performance and my run today. I knew I had to go quick at the top. I felt like usually at this track I struggle to go any quicker at the bottom. I feel like the track's sort of one line and just berms, and usually I'm good at that stuff, but for some reason against these kids they just got a little edge on me. But no, I was super happy with my run. Didn't make any big mistakes, and put it together like I wanted to. So I'll sleep well tonight.
Awesome. Well, mega props to the three of you guys. Congratulations on such a sick weekend, and we'll see you out there at the next one.
Thank you.